I mean, does it feel about time? Anybody? Like, I just feel like this time of year is always so powerful because the energy of the beginning again and a new chapter opening is always so beautiful to kind of get us fired up and get us motivated and inspired to get moving in a new direction. And so, if you're a super successful businesswoman and you're kind of like, I'm feeling like I could use a lane change, feeling like I use a little something different in my life, right? Whatever that looks like, that's what we're going to be talking about today. And hi, my name is Jennifer Zunzelsen. I am the founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness. I am a transformational purpose coach and expert. And what we're going to be doing today is talking about that new year, the collective, in just a minute. But what I love to do is talk about when I work with women, how I do that is really make clarity the queen. And so I love talking about this from a perspective of understanding that one of the very foundational pieces of any really beautiful work and growth we're going to do has to start with clarity, right? It makes perfect sense. If I don't know where I am, where I've been, what I'm looking to do, I can't get there, right? We can't get there without the clarity. So I love talking about that's really one of the pivotal things that I think I work with women in is getting really clear about their skills, their strengths, their tools, that innate power that they show up with, and really then how to direct that in a way that's going to be super helpful in helping them make lane changes in their life when they're feeling called to do so, to really stand in that power. I really believe that each and every one of us, hi Chantal, is showing up in that power. And sometimes we've just forgotten how to be in touch with that, right? It's like remembering we're carrying around this incredible superpower. Okay, today we're talking about resetting your connections. This is something I am so powerfully excited about. So I'm wearing this shirt. It says "Better Together." You can't really see it very. Yeah, you can see it. My people on YouTube can see it. And so I am wearing it because I am hosting a free webinar tonight, and this is literally the message that I want to shout out into the world. Not only do I believe that the world needs exactly what you bring and more of it, I also believe that we are better together as a collective. So when I created this subject content for the month, that was where my mind was going. So if you want to go and catch my vlog from yesterday, it went on this morning. Hint, hint, that's a secret. Not proud of it. Yesterday, I was so focused on my webinar and my launch. I legit was like 10:30 last night. I'm like, oh, I didn't post my vlog. I was like, oh no. Normally, I'm really religious about getting that on Tuesdays for you so that by the time we arrive together in a live, you have the chance to listen and kind of check in and maybe show up with some questions. So, what I want to talk about today is a little bit different than what I discussed in my vlog. So, I did discuss the idea in my vlog about the importance of who we're around, right? Which makes complete sense. I mean, you've heard this a million times, right? You are a culmination of the 5 people you spend most time around. Kind of a fact. Okay. And so I love that. I'm going to leave that because you can go and catch that vlog anywhere. You can find it on my website and my purpose tools. You can find it anywhere. So go out and if you want to just kind of revisit that, you're welcome to do it. What I thought was powerful today was talking about how I define reset, which is redirecting your energy and your effort to seasoning and summoning to make change and transformation, right? So we want to embrace that idea. And so that's really kind of what we're about. And what I think I love to do is talk with women about how powerfully we can do that in community. Period. As a collective. So I want you to imagine, I've talked about energy a million times. You guys will hear me circle back. I got this terminology from an old client of mine. She would say to crack me up. She was like talking about work stuff and she's like, well, we're going to circle back. But she was super funny about it, kind of snarky. And I loved it. So now I can never say it and not see her face in my mind. And so what we're going to do is we're always going to circle back to the energy talk. But what I want to talk about is if we think about it from this perspective, if I and you're carrying around a boatload of energy, it's your unique signature, right? The way that you show up to the world is unique to you. Okay. You have your own thoughts, your own set of values and ideals and gifts and talents. And those are all the things that you bring. Okay. Beautiful. So your job in this lifetime is to harness that, make sure you're doling that out in the world like dollar bills, right? So that's what we want you to do. We want you to harness it. We want you to get out there. We want you to go and exchange and share your greatness and what you bring to the world outward. Okay. And the collective is the notion that we're also part of the whole, right? And meaning that there's also an energy we create when we're with other people, right? So that as a group, as a community, as a culture, as a world, as a whatever you're in, when we're together, you can feel the energy shift. Let me give you an example. And this is so not like rocket science, but I always love, I'm super visual and I love ideas and like structures to hang my hat on. So I want you to imagine, have you been to a favorite sporting event? Have you ever been to a concert? Tell me what the difference would feel like to you energetically in your body, in your emotions, and how you're thinking and feeling and what you're feeling around you. What would the difference be at a concert? One of my favorite concerts ever was going to make me sound good. Imagine Dragons, literally like sang every single song. It was incredible. The energy in the vibration in there was amazing, like so powerful, right? And if I think about sitting there by myself, that is a completely different energy than when I was sitting amongst all of these people singing with me, standing, dancing, clapping, yelling, cell phone with light on it, right? I mean, you're doing the whole thing. Like it is something wholly different, or your very favorite sports team. So whoever, right? Give me a great, so in the comments, give me a great space you've been where the energy was off the charts as a collective, as a community. I want you to think about this. Where have you been that had awesome energy that was in the whole? So first say hey, say Chantel said hello to me from Instagram. Come on, y'all, say hello. Let me know you're here. And then I want to hear from you. What was one of the most profound places you've ever been that had a collective energy? Think about weddings. Why do people all get together for baby showers? Well, they get together to celebrate, right? And so the energy, of course, is going to feel very, very different for each and everything that we do, that we're doing in community. And so what I really wanted us to begin doing, and what I wanted to start really talking about, was harnessing that sense of the collective and that community feel. I can't tell you how many women tell me that they feel isolated and alone. I'm going to say it one more time. It's so worth noting, okay? I can't tell you how many women tell me that they feel alone. Now, I'm not saying men don't feel that. I'm just saying, I'm just getting the reports from the ladies, okay? All my goddesses in the house are telling me that it's pretty lonely. And it can be lonely, particularly for entrepreneurs, freelancers, people that are off doing their own business, but even in corporate jobs, even in other places, even in stations of our life, even as parents, what can happen is we can really start feeling really alone and isolated, right? Have you been there? I, for years, prayed for community. I'm not even kidding. I'm actually not joking. I'm not yanking your chain when I say this. The first place, and I said I was going to share some stories today, so I want to share some stories. The first place I really felt collectively held in a space was yoga training. And I'm going to say why. Not because I don't have great friends and great family, right? This is not an insult to like any of my people, because I got great freaking people. We all do. But in yoga training, what happened was I was amongst people, ready for it, who had same interest, which is always a good connector, right? It's just such an easy one, right? We're there to grow and learn. Love you, complete athlete. I see you there. Thanks for joining, right? We were all going in the same direction. We didn't have the same life story. We didn't all take away the same things. That wasn't what I'm saying, right? You'll notice this. But we had the same start of value. We had the same interest in growth, okay? And we were talking about philosophy. We were doing movement as a collective. We were meditating and doing breath work as a collective. So it was the first space and time, I think, that I was like, aha, oh my God, this is so freaking powerful. And I wanted to be able to harness that in some way for all of us, because I really believe we need it. So that was one of the first spaces. I've been in lots of communities online, some of them more successful than others. And that's not an insult. Community can be hard to hold space in. I mean, I'm just being really truthful about that, right? But man, I have been some really, really powerful spaces with other people. My very favorite, and this is going to feel really, because like it's fresh, right, in the new year. As I'm looking at my last year and I'm reflecting, which we did a lot of in December, one of the things that I think I'm really reflecting on and having incredible gratitude for is this last year of collective. So about a year and a half ago, no, about a year ago, yeah, I'd say about a year ago, I opened up and joined a coaching community. I paid my right business community. And I'm going to be honest, when I did it, I thought, okay, will these be my people? And I'm not trying to, I'm just saying, will these be my people? We're all coming from different walks of life or, whatever. Is this really going to have the impact that I'm hoping it is for my investment? Out of the park. Out of the park. So one, my business coaching that I invested in, huge return. We'll talk about that in a minute. And I just had another that I don't want to skip over it. Insight timer. Where we all come together to meditate. And so those are two spaces that in the last year alone, I've probably been doing Insight Timer almost a full year now, maybe a little short of a full year. And I did it almost every single week. I took a few times off here and there. I did take off a long stint around the holiday just to kind of take a reset for my soul. But I'm telling you, those two places, monumental collective change. I want to talk a minute about how that influences us, right? Because I think this is okay, awesome, Jen, like I'm riling y'all up for what? Like for why? The thing I think that is happened for me is being in community, learning and growing. So you're going to notice there's some things that seem to be, for me, my experience, this is my experience, powerful is growth. So one of the things is we're going to get in there, we're going to grow together. Like I said, we all showed up in this community, totally different backgrounds from all over the country. I mean, right? Like we didn't all show up the same humans by a long shot. And if you looked at us on the surface, you would have gone, good luck, good luck creating rapport in this, and because it looked like a mishmash of all the things, right? And so we were growing, we were vulnerable. And so you're going to say, how are you vulnerable? Because we were learning video. Well, I've been doing video for a minute. So video for me isn't like, oh my, but I had to apply skill to it. So it's still learning and it's still like, well, hope that I don't look like a total dork when I send this video out to the whole group. So what you had to do is you really had to step into this kind of vulnerable space, right? In yoga class and certification, it was vulnerable because you were talking about philosophy. You were applying it to your life. You were applying it to your practice. We discussed yogic principles all the time. It got real up in there. I mean, there were tears, there was laughter. I mean, by the time we were done, it felt like a family, right? Good community, good collective feels like that. And so for me, I think that's really powerful when I think about starting that coaching and having no idea who these people were, not any idea where they would go with me in this journey. And what happened, because they had a beautiful structure to this coaching environment and community, how things worked. It was one of the most profound and beautiful journeys I've ever had in a community in my entire life. I'm not selling the program to, I mean, if anybody ever wants to know about how to be more confident on video, reach out to me. I'm happy to tell you, because I would sell this company and what they do far and wide. But today I'm not trying to anyway. I am marketing my truth. I'm marketing my truth, right? Is like, when I was in there, I didn't know if we would make friends. I didn't know. And what happened is people started going, oh, so-and-so is good at that. I had people reach out to me and say, Jen, you're so confident. How did you get like that? Because I did it a million times. It wasn't because I actually always felt confident. I had just done Facebook Lives and Instagram before it was cool, right? Before it was like the way to do your business stuff. Like it was like that right back in the day, which is like yepping, right? Okay. And telling stories and teaching, which was what I loved to do. And so that wasn't my thing. My thing wasn't, I wasn't horrified in front of a camera. Some of the people were, they were like, right, really resistant, which I understand. And so it was really neat to like, what can I do? And then I give feedback. And then someone would know how to use StreamYard, which I'm on right now. I didn't know how the hell to use that. I'd be like, Ron, what's up? Right, Ron, can you tell me how to do this? People got together. We taught each other Instagram tricks. We taught each other. I mean, Facebook ads, we were up in it. And let me tell you, the foundation, which is so freaking cool in this community, was the passion and integrity that each and every one of us brought for our business. How we wanted to show up, how we wanted to provide our service in the world. And that was what I think the glue of this entire thing was. And if you had said to me when I started that coaching journey, you know what's going to come out of this? Incredible community. I would have been like, okay. I literally would have not believed you at all. I was with realtors. I was with, oh my gosh, what else? Other coaches and energy healers and Instagram specialists. I mean, like literally, right? Here's the other thing that this collective did. This coaching company picked the best people to do the things. They were so methodical about the people that came in and taught us. They didn't just toss in, and they didn't come in and go, I got all the things, I just can teach you all the things, which they could have. They could have. But this woman knew her strengths and challenges and said, I don't have the time and energy to do all of these parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, I'm going to find all the best people. I'm going to find all the best people that do what they do like magic. And so each person that had a specialty came in and blew your ever loving mind for what they brought. And that woman knew the value of collective. She knew the value of saying, I can't do it all. I can't be everywhere at once. I've got to hire staff that represent me, represent my values, show up wholeheartedly, because that's what I want people to consider when they think about my business. And she nailed it. So she nailed it on that really high level of how they dole out their work. And then we had this beautiful sensation of creating that collective within our community. So upon closing, they asked me to come in and talk about my journey. And so I got to go in with another masterclass who was learning these skills. And I was like, this is amazing. And so I just talked about my experience. And one of the biggest takeaways I would tell you about is that community. I cried when it was over. I literally did. I got in to talk about it. And I was like crying on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Okay, everybody. Clearly, I'm having a minute saying goodbye to everyone because it was so powerful. It was so powerful. I signed up to do another female-based coaching environment. That's how profound it was. What happens is this. Those communities become your safety net. They become your yes sayers. They become the people that sit with you, support, hold space, provide and share resources. So the times that we did that, one of the gentlemen in there had me on his podcast. He's in mortgage lending, right? I mean, you'd have been like, what? It was so fun. I don't care if 10 people watch it. I really don't. It was so fun. And it was such a neat way to get to know Ron. I don't even care. And so that's really the energy of this group that got building momentum. And I'm going to tell you this, and here's an insider. The people that took the most were the people that showed up. I'm going to be real honest. When you're in a community, you get to take away what you put in. So the people that showed up 5 times were learning and growing, no doubt. This is not a diss. Did they have the same experience I did? I'm guessing not. I'm guessing if you said to them, was community and the collective something you took something away from, I'm guessing they would say, yeah, I mean, I had good, people in there, but like, I don't really know if I know them. The people that 10, 12, 15 people that were really in it, I'm literally friends with a really nice handful of those people. And I will definitely stay in touch. And I do with almost all of them. And now I'm in a new community of women who are powerhouse working in their businesses. This next level is next level. It's doing all the things. It's learning the stuff. It's stepping into your strength. And there's a feminine power in that community. I was just the one that started prompting. I set up, we're going to be doing some work blocks together as a community, just to be in space together, to be like on Zoom, but like doing your work. And that way it's like, hey, I got a question. And hey, and we want to know about each other's businesses. And I want to support and hold them up. And so because we don't do it in a regular way where we get to talk just one-on-one, because oftentimes our coaching sessions are listening and learning, which is really cool. We are now creating a small collective right within that community that we get together one-on-one and grow. My growth as a human being, as a spiritual being, and as a business, monumental shift for this year. I held a community this summer of women. Monumental shift and transformation I saw because there was vulnerability, a shared space, right? And so let's not take the call from Florida. What do you say? And so I want you to really be thinking about, there's so many benefits to you. And I will never do it justice. I couldn't even in a 3-hour block of time do it justice. Insight Timer, for those of you that don't know, is a meditation app, and there's millions of users. It's just bonkers, off the chart, super busy app that is very well defined from a lots of teacher perspective. Very, very cool. And so I was really lucky to be able to join as a teacher and do live events, which I love. Like live is like just my favorite. I can like record and share them and stuff, but really my very favorite thing is to always hold space with people. That community is freaking incredible. Inside jokes, cracking jokes, dance parties. When I tell you the energy of holding space in a meditation is wholly different than doing it on your own. And they're both beautiful. They're both beautiful. Okay. The loyalty, the connections, the joy, the shifts, the state shifts, that energy change coming from a community, off the charts. And so much better than just recording it, right? And I never get to see someone's, reactions. We don't get a chat. So many powerful conversations took place in Insight Timer. And so I really want to throw it out there to you, like, lob it out there to you when I say, trust me, that monumental change happens within community. Now, I got a friend, she's so funny. She's like, I don't like community. Like not none, but like, she's like, it's not all for me. And I'm like, I get that. Everyone's a little different. She's really like, she's like, she kind of likes to do her own thing and, like pretty introverted human being. So I get it. And she still has community. Hers will likely look very small. Right. And that's great. That's what feels really good to her. So it isn't that you need community of 5,000 people, but it's that you need quality community. And that's what she does have. So it's funny because we were laughing. I'm like, she does have community. She goes, well, I do have community. I'm like, I know you do. She's a healer. And so that's probably her people tend to be in that camp where she spends a lot of space. She does a lot of time in business as well. She's growing that. She takes coaching, courses like I do. So like we're doing those things. So she's got community. I like big community. I like those spaces where we get to do meditation together and we get to process together and we get to talk about big things and digest big things and come together in a space that feels like a safety net. So the value is, here's the value that I want to say, this is the sweetest spot I can say to you, is that in your life, sometimes you're going to have environments where people mean well. Your partner, your friends, your family members, other colleagues, whoever it might be in your life, right? Mean well for the most part, right? I really, truly believe most people mean well. And sometimes though, when you show up with a heart on fire to understand something in your life, whether it's spiritual or psychological, whether it's business related, whatever it might be for you, family related, it can be a lonely road because everyone isn't looking through that lens, and that is okay. We also need those people that are different than us. So it's not that we're like all the same, right? That's not what I'm saying. However, having a space to go in and really join with other people, in this case, women, is what, that's because that's the area of specialty I have. That's really powerful. Because depending on your environment, it's a space to really grow, evolve. Like I'm all about evolution. We want to evolve you, and you need the space to do that with people who show up with a set of understanding, a set of values, right? Perhaps a mission. It's that shared vision, right? It's a shared vision. Tonight, I'm doing a webinar, Eyes on the Prize. If you're not coming, you have to be there. And it's a free webinar. It costs nothing. It's 7 o'clock tonight, Central Standard Time. So it'll be an hour and a half long. It's going to have meditation. We're going to do some tapping. It's going to be very active, if that makes sense, which is actually really kind of neat. So it's going to be really exercise and experiential heavy, which I love. So we're going to be doing that tonight in the collective, in a community. I do coach people one-on-one. I love community because there's something about that shared interaction. People are coming together tonight because they want to be clear about where they're going. They want to reset their lives and their visions. And they were like, yes, I could use some support and help, and let's get together and do that as a community. So tonight, that's what we're doing. Super easy to sign up if you want to join us, and there is still time. We're getting close. The clock sheets are ticking. Yesterday, we accidentally sent an email to everybody that said it was yesterday. I was talking to BBA. I'm like, we accidentally sent out the email with a clock in it that says it's today. We were so excited. And she's laughing. She's like, oh my God. I'm like, it's no worries. So anyway, so we fixed it. It was super funny. We were so excited and invested that we were saying it was yesterday. And so it's actually tonight. And it's finally here. It feels like one of those things that you dream about for forever and ever and ever. And so I invite you into that. The shared energy is something that is profoundly pivotal and powerful in a way that the work we could ever do one-on-one isn't always the same. They're different. They've got very different energetic expression, but I'm really a huge fan of having people together as a whole. And so I'm looking forward. Some of the people coming tonight are new. Some of them are like loyal followers that have been with me for a long time. So I love that. I love getting in the space and seeing their faces and getting to engage and ask questions and have conversations and have experience together. And so I'm so excited about it. So tonight, again, from 7 to 8:30, free webinar, Eyes on the Prize. And that prize is actually P with a rise behind it, because that's actually how I do my purpose work. And so I'm super excited to be bringing that tonight. Please sign up if you want to do that. Either you can comment below and ask me how to do that, or you can go to laughinglotuswellness.com/free-webinar. Super easy to get signed up. If you want to get in there and can't figure the hell out, just give me a text or DM and I'll get you in there. I've done that a handful of times here in the last probably like 4 hours or so. So I'm still putting people in there, getting y'all lined up. And I wanted to bring that in because, again, better together and imagining. And what I want to invite you to do, and this is kind of the final challenge, is I want to invite you to think bigger. And this is where this all ties to purpose, right? This all ties in. How does you showing up in your purpose affect the collective? What do you want for the collective? If you want to call the collective the world, whatever it is, your community, the world, what is it? How would you like that to permeate? When you show up in your best place, that energy ripples out into the world, right? It's the pebble in the pond effect. And so I want you to really think about who you are and how you show up matters not just to you, not just to your inner circle, not just to people on your island, right? It goes out and out and out. I am shocked. Can I tell you something? I am shocked when someone shows up and goes, I've been watching you and following you and I'd like to blah, blah, blah. I don't even know how they find me. I don't know if it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I don't know. Is that an event I held? I don't know. That's what we want to do. That message, who you are, broadcast. I want you to imagine a big tower, one of those radio towers, and who you are is sending out the vibration of what you stand for in this lifetime. And that impacts, like the butterfly's wings, all the things in the collective, the big energy. And so it's a grander way to see your service in the world. It's a grander way to think. It's not, if like, I'm not just doing it for me. I'm not just doing it for me. What I do, it makes me feel so good. It makes me feel so good and so meaningful and so fulfilled, but it's not for me. What I do is for others. I mean, it's for me. I mean, I get to have the joy and I get to have the experience, and it's actually for the collective, what I do. I want it to broadcast out to the whole, to the nation, to the world, to the whoever needs to hear it is where I want it to land, right? Okay. So that's what I want you to be thinking about, is that eyes on the prize, where you want to go, clarity is queen. And so if you want to join me tonight, I would love to have you. Again, that's laughinglotuswellness.com/free dash webinar. So that's that hyphen free hyphen webinar, and come and join us. This is it. I mean, it's coming together. And I forgot to say this, I'm announcing something huge tonight. So I don't do that in every webinar. It's like every webinar is like, no, tonight's extra special. As in, like, I think I'm going to get a bottle of champagne to celebrate, actually, and have it handy, so that when I finally say and share this big thing I've been working on, I can like toast myself and celebrate, because I'm a big fan of celebrating myself and other people when we've stepped into something that is a dream, or it's a little scary, we're unsure about what it's going to look like and how it's going to go. I love doing that. So I'm going to have my stuff handy to celebrate tonight. I'm super excited about it. There are bonuses that people that come to the webinar tonight get only if they come to the webinar tonight. And I don't fib about that, just so you're really clear. Like, I don't work that way. I'm not like, oh, I'm going to do that and then I'm going to give it to like everybody else for the next 2 weeks. Whatever I'm launching is opening doors on February 1st, but the people that sign up tonight get the best bonus. And then there are early events that I'm hosting that are bonuses as well, which I will speak to more tonight for the people that are in the webinar. So only the people that get signed up early will be getting those extra bonuses, and they kind of come along the way. So even if you can't make it tonight and you hear me later and you're like, oh, there's still bonuses throughout the time until we actually launch and open the doors on February 1st. So you can decide whenever you hear this, right? There's still time, there's still space. Come on in. Just be watching for it. So if you watch, I will be announcing, and you'll see it all over my social media, but not until after tonight. So tonight is the big night. It's not only a webinar that I'm super, super feeling excited about sharing with women and have a lovely group compiled. I'm super excited to spend time with them, and they get to hear the big news. And so that's always really, again, I'm doing a community. I could have gotten in just here, and this is community, but I don't get to really see you a lot. Like, it's not the same interaction. I'm doing a Zoom. We're doing it in a Zoom because I want to really feel that community around me. I want to share that energy with the collective, right? And so I just want to throw that out there, that it's going to be a really action-packed and beautiful evening that I'm so excited to bring and share with all of you. And so come and show up, and or just watch for the announcements. They'll be coming. But I want to invite you to share and pay attention to that collective. What it means to you to provide a service, show up, be in that space. Who are you when you show up in the collective that way? How are you leaving an impact? Even when you don't know that you are. Okay. And so it's a little bit of a mind thing, because typically we do so much of the work that I do that's like one-on-one or in small groups, or like, right, we're talking about our growth as a person. We want to think that we can actually grow as a community. We can grow in community. I grow in community leaps and bounds personally. I've had several spaces in my life that have made me a better human for that group kind of connection. Okay. So anyway, I hope to see you this evening. If I don't, I'll see you next time. We did this early because tomorrow I'm actually going on a trip to be on a TV episode, which I'm super excited about, and also conversely very nervous. And so I'm going to be recording that on Friday, but I have traveled to get there. So tomorrow I will not be here live because I am going to be doing that, which is super, super exciting. And I feel really super blessed for this opportunity. And I can't wait to talk about purpose, of course, because that's what I'll be chatting about. But that's why we did our live this week early, was so that I would have tomorrow and Friday to do travel and do that event. So that's what's going on, and I'm super excited about it. So come join me tonight. Again, laughinglotuswellness.com/free-webinar. Get signed up and come join us. It's going to be fire. If not, keep your eyes peeled. Of course, your eyes on the prize for the next things that I'll be announcing that are coming up. And I hope you get a chance to come and interact with us and join us in the collective, right? Because that's, we're better together. So this is Jen, as always, sending you guys off with love and light and supporting you on your rise to purpose. Till next time.